Aloha and good morning. As Director of the Tropical Conservation Biology and Environmental Science Graduate Program, as we affectionately call TCBES of the University of Hawaii at Hilo, I am very pleased to welcome you to the Spring 2020 Zoom graduation celebration. This is the first time we've ever honored our graduates in this way and our very first video graduation. So first, just a few housekeeping things. On Zoom, please keep your microphone on mute unless it is your turn to talk. You can leave your videos on as you want. It's really nice to see everybody, and this is a celebration. So it'd be nice to see you if we can. And a shout out goes out to several TCBES students, Andre and Rebecca for creating the program and the virtual background for the graduates using today. And mahalo to Erica Ta for coordinating the lei distribution and gifts for our graduates and all the students who made tea-leis. Second, follow along with the program that was emailed out. We will give all the graduates a round of applause after all the students have been introduced. We also have some special guests with us today, and we are pleased that our Chancellor, Bonnie Irwin, is joining us today. Chancellor, if you're here, can you put yourself on video and do a brief wave so we can acknowledge you? And please feel free to speak if you like. We also have another special guest, Dr. Hui Kanahele Mossman, with us today. Auntie Hui is an affiliate faculty, and she works closely with each new cohort to integrate a cultural component into their educational experience. Auntie Hui, can you do a brief wave so we can acknowledge you? And please feel free to speak if you like. So before we begin the formal ceremony, one of our graduates this spring, Melanie Layla Dudley, will lead us in an ole, e homai. The words can be found in your program, and we're also projecting them on the screen. We ask that you sing along, but have your microphone on mute, as we had an interesting experience trying to do it simultaneously a few days ago. So, Kuma hula master and Hawaiian cultural and language expert, Edith Kanaka Ole, composed this ole for her hula troupe. The chant was originally performed by students at the beginning of a class to request knowledge and wisdom from the ancestral deities to accomplish the task at hand. Today, this ole is commonly used to start an event or a small gathering, to focus a group's energies and ultimately carry out the kuleana, the responsibility they have undertaken. We also want to note that Auntie Hui has created a special ole for the TCBES students, which we use when we go on to field trips. Again, please join in, but keep your microphone on mute. Layla, please take it away.
E ho mai kai ke mai una mai e o na mea una no e o na mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai kai ke mai luna mai e o na mea una no e o na mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai kai ke mai luna mai e o na mea una no e o na mele e ho mai e ho mai e.
Mahalo, Leila, for leading us in that Oli. We now want to tell you a little bit more about the TCBS program. The University of Hawaii at Hilo TCBS program's mission is to provide a Master's of Science level graduate education that fosters the knowledge of theory and techniques in conservation biology and environmental science, including basic, applied, and socio-ecological research, and promotes scholarly activities in marine and terrestrial environments that will enable participants to pursue careers in research and natural resource management. The Masters of Science in TCBS provides graduate training in conservation biology and environmental science. The program utilizes the extraordinary biological, physical, and cultural complexity on the island of Hawaii as a focus of investigation and study. Graduates of the program are highly successful at obtaining technical positions as scientists, resource managers, and educators, and admission into PhD programs in related fields. The program began in 2004, and since that time, we've had 193 graduates. We currently have 45 faculty associated with the program across 4 different colleges. Assuming today's participants complete all their final requirements, 17 more people will become new graduates. We also have numerous affiliate faculty, adjunct faculty, and mentors associated with our program, and we want to send them out a huge mahalo. These are professionals who are serving as mentors for students in internship projects, on students' thesis committees, teaching classes, giving seminars, lots of good things. A huge debt of gratitude goes to them, and we welcome their continued partnership. I now introduce Dr. Becky Austertag and Lisa Canali, who will talk more about the thesis and professional internship tracks of our program respectively.
The thesis track in the TCBS program prepares graduates for technical positions and for entry into PhD programs in related fields. Students conduct original research guided by a UH Hilo faculty as their advisor. Students form a thesis committee of 3 members who contain expertise on their research topic. Students are required to write a research proposal and defend that proposal before they complete the research. Students often research in amazing natural environments of Hawaii Island, and most projects contain a mix of field and laboratory research. Our students take advantage of the many shared resources across the UH Hilo campus, including the Analytical Lab, the Spatial Data and Visualization Lab, the Core Genomics Facility, the Pacific Aquaculture and Coastal Research Center, the Listening Observatory of Hawaiian Ecosystems Lab, the Hawaii Cooperative Fisheries Unit, and many more. Students do defense of their thesis as a public presentation, and this year you can find all of the defenses on the TCBS YouTube channel.
Aloha.
I now introduce Lisa Canale.
Aloha. In the fall of 2018, we expanded the TCBES internship track into a professional master's. The professional master students here today conducted more than 600 hours of internship work in an immersive experience. In the past, the majority of the UH Hilo TCBES graduate students followed the thesis track, receiving an excellent education and research, and then many of the graduates went to work in natural resource management rather than continuing their education and obtaining a doctorate. With this reality in mind, UH Hilo revamped the internship track option to align the courses with the knowledge and experiences that a graduate student needs to actively contribute as a scientific professional in a local, state, national environmental conservation agency, NGO, or other organization. Many of our students work on Hawaii Island, but their professional internship can happen anywhere in the world. We work with the agencies to create a professional internship project for each student that moves the graduate student forward in achieving their professional goals while also being a benefit for the host agency. This process begins with the graduate student defining their interests. We ask, what are your scientific wonderings? What are your drivers? How do you want to contribute to the greater good? The graduate students here today figured out those answers and rose up to the challenge of conducting a professional internship, providing deliverables to their agencies, and writing a compendious report to the TCBES program that soon will be housed in Hoku, the University of Hawaii's institutional repository. The graduating students in the TCBS professional internship track also gave a public presentation of their rigorous internship projects last week on May 8th. You can find those presentations on the TCBS YouTube channel as well. And those presentations have already received more than 450 views. I give you now, Tracy.
Now I want to acknowledge each graduate. I'll say the student's name, and then at the time, I invite the student's advisor or mentor to say a few words to introduce them. Then the student, we've asked them to respond to the question, what will you take forward from TCBS as a conservation professional? After answering this question, the student will have a chance to say mahalos if they would like. And we will go through each student in alphabetical order. Here are some pictures of the different graduating students in their cohorts. So Becky will show you those before we call out each student's name. The yellow circle indicates that is one of our graduates here today. So now each student will be introduced by their advisor or mentor, and then the student will answer the question and give their mahalos. Our first student today is Devin Aguiar, and his advisor is myself. So let me tell you a little bit about Devin. I've known Devin for quite a while. I believe we first met in my global change class. Before joining TCBS, Devin earned his Bachelor's of Arts in Marine Science and a certificate in Environmental Studies. Along the way, he did several internships studying sea level rise to scuba practices. Devin has recently completed his master's thesis investigating sewage pollution impacts along the South Kohala coast. For this project, he managed a team of students that did scuba surveys, deployed underwater instruments, collected water samples for microbial analysis. In the last few months, what has particularly struck me about Devin is his level of self-motivation, his professionalism, and his ability to tell his story of his project in the context of previous findings. I now present Devin Aguiar.
All right. Thank you, Tracy, for the introduction. Really happy and proud to be here today. To answer your question on what I'll take away from the program, it's definitely been thinking about it, and the program is it's nice because it's kind of included people and culture into the educational aspects, and I think that's the biggest thing I'm going to take away is really thinking more about the inclusion of people, cultures, working with people, especially when managing. I think that's the biggest thing I'm definitely going to take away from this program. Don't want to hold up the line, but thank you to everyone that's been involved in my project that has helped me, whether it be out there in the field, the hot sun, collecting water samples, to processing them in the lab. Thank you to my advisory committee, Tracy, Dr. Stephen Colbert, and Dr. John Burns. Thank you for helping me along the way. This has really been an interesting project and something new to me. So thank you for providing feedback and helping me throughout the way. Thank you to my family for their support. And if there's anyone I forgot to mention, thank you very much. You've been a huge help throughout this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Devin. Our next graduate up is Alexander Bisher. His advisor is Alex Wang and Bruce Masuda. Today, Lisa Canali will be introducing him.
Aloha, everyone. I would like to welcome you and introduce Alex Bisher. Alex brings a unique and quiet confidence and commitment to all of his endeavors. From his graduate studies to his professional internship with the Natural Area Reserve to his work with the San Diego Zoo. Alex's professionalism made him an ideal Hilo TCBES graduate student. I would say that his superpower is his ability to take any responsibility and do it better than expected and to improve the process. I give you Alex Bisher.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Lisa, for the introduction. And thank you to everyone watching and listening today. To answer the question, what I'll take forward from the TCBS program, and I think one of the main things I take away is the ability to be adaptable and flexible. So working in the environmental field, I've got to experience a wide range of things and the ever-changing world we're in right now. So I think all the experiences I've gotten to take away here from working with NARS and San Diego Zoo and all the other partner agencies I got to work with is just being able to adapt and be flexible to any situation that kind of arises. With that being said, I'd like to thank Lisa for being my advisor and then Alex for being my mentor and everything they've done for me. And then I'd like to thank my friends and family for everything that they've done and helped me get through these 2 years and being super supportive. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexander. Our next student up is Keith Burnett. I'm not sure if he was able to, if he's on the line. Well, I know Keith, they were having a big sale at REI and he's out there working in Colorado right now. But maybe his advisor, Dr. Pat Hart, could say a few words about Keith.
Yeah, thanks, Tracy. I'd be happy to. Aloha, everybody. Yeah, Keith Burnett graduated from Washington University in St. Louis. He came to Hawaii over a decade ago and worked on really an incredible variety of field projects as an intern and a technician. For his thesis research, which was titled Distribution and Abundance of and Acoustic Characteristics of Kohala Forest Birds, he conducted the first ecological study of Hawaiian forest birds on Kohala volcano in over 40 years. Much of his research was done in really cold, wet, difficult, windy conditions. And he really did an impressive job with his thesis. And it's going to result in 2 peer-reviewed manuscripts that should be submitted pretty soon. I just say his positive attitude and his all-around competence made him a real pleasure to work with. And I just wish him luck in the future. I think he's going to be really successful in the next step of his career. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Pat. Our next graduate up is Talavi Cook. Her mentor was Roxanne Swensel, and today Marina Carides will introduce her.
Aloha, everyone. I have the pleasure of introducing Talavi Cook. I first met Talavi in CBS 645. In that course, we read Linda Tuivai-Smith's Decolonizing Methodologies. Talavi embodies the principles of revolutionary thinking that Smith outlines in her book. She's a smart comparative doer and thinker who is able to distinguish among knowledge systems, identifying where there is synergistic opportunity and where there is not. In this regard, she completed her internship at the Flowering Tree Permaculture Institute at the Santa Clara Pueblo in New Mexico under the guidance of Roxanne Swensel. The Institute draws together Pueblo agriculture with elements of permaculture. Here she engaged in various farming practices and was a success at catching gophers. I have a photo to prove it. Talavi is one of the only members of the Oke Owenge Pueblo to receive a master's in conservation biology and environmental science. She was also the only woman wildland firefighter in a crew of men for 2 years and was one of the only woman managers for a tribal forestry department. Talavi sought to further her education with us at TCBES to counter patriarchal logics in her community, and so that her tribal leadership listened to her expertise for their land's resilience. Congrats, Talavi.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Marina. I learned a lot from the TCBS program. Specifically, we're learning about the different ecosystems based in Hawaii, along with the ecosystem services, nutrient cycling, more about the island biogeography theory and plants and the extinction process. I also learned more how to do technical scientific writing. Writing is not my best suit, but I definitely gained more confidence in that part of it. If anything, I gained more professionalism and confidence in talking about conservation efforts. I also made connections with the Native Hawaiian community and got to share stories and culture about how different and similar we are from another. Overall, both cultures are influencing people around the world to fight against any threats that can destroy our environment. So overall, I owe a huge gratitude to a number of individuals, organizations, and specifically the University of Hawaii at Hilo. Without your support and understanding, including your patience, has allowed me to succeed in obtaining valuable knowledge and including in my emphasis on environmental science, particularly in the areas of agroecosystems, traditional ecological knowledge, and permaculture technology. And having instituted practices at the Flower and Tree Permaculture Institute. Further, the knowledge I've acquired have deeply enhanced my public practices, religion, language, and identity through legitimate traditional science, and how we as Indigenous people will continue to face and overcome challenges in the future relevant to climate change and conservation of our ecosystems, ensuring any type of threats does not negatively impact future generations. In my upbringing as a Native American, it's often stated our children, including myself, are considered the gatekeepers of our future. We as Native Americans are also known by the teachings of our parents, grandparents, and elders. We must respect Mother Earth and all that she provides, to include ensuring the protection of her natural resources. We as Native Americans have a true attachment and spirituality with the land and the universe and the cosmos, and practicing in a solstice in line with the universe, planets, and stars. I hope to bring this cosmovision to light with my communities in the Southwest and help keep our lands resilient. So I'm really thankful for my family and my partner and his family for their support. I'm really thankful for my friends and my friends from home and for my friends in Hawaii. Shout out to Jasmine, Kimo, Brian, Fat Minnie, Maya, Trisha, Erica, Kelsey, Koa, Kavehi, Ashley, and Layla. And Roxanne, thank you, and for your family for teaching me everything, and also John Naranjo. And of course, thank you to my advisors, Lisa and Marina, for their guidance and support to help me to get this degree.
Mahalo. Our next student is Samantha DeVivo. Her mentor was Dr. Maria Haas and Sydney Gaimo. And today her advisor, Lisa Canali, will introduce her.
Aloha. I'm very pleased to introduce Samantha. So Samantha is a team builder. She has the ability to bring enthusiasm and with equal parts grit to all of her efforts. Samantha found her superpower while she was in the program. She developed the courage and the strength to do the ask. She put herself out there and she was able to ask for more work, ask for more responsibilities, ask for the experiences that she wanted to develop as a professional. It's been a wonder and a pleasure to see this growth in her. Please welcome Samantha.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Lisa, for the introduction. And that kind of is something that I learned from this program, is to always, put yourself out there and be open to opportunities, even opportunities you may think aren't exactly in your wheelhouse. You never know what you can end up gaining and learning from those experiences. So that's what I will take on with me. I'd like to thank my mentors and also Lisa for their guidance through my program. I'd like to thank our cohort. I know we were like the first cohort of this new revamped program, and it was really nice being able to go alongside of you guys. I'd like to thank Dr. Colbert and Stephen Kennedy for all the guidance on my job and my volunteer boat crew endeavors, and my family. I couldn't have been here without my family. I love and miss you guys so much, and I wish you guys could be here with me. So thank you.
Thank you. Our next student is Ryan Domingo, and his advisor, Dr. Michael Shintaku, will introduce him.
Hi. Well, congratulations to everybody, and especially Ryan. And I just want to introduce Ryan briefly. He's from here. He went to Keao High School. Then after high school, he trained for and then became an electrician for a while. But then I guess the pull of UH Hilo was too strong, so he came to UH Hilo, got his degree. He's got a bachelor's degree in biology, and then decided to pursue the master's degree. And really, he could not have done this work without the resources and facilities at USDA PBARC and the germplasm repository up in Waikea. And he did a real nice job. So plants get infected with viruses, and with a lot of plants, they get infected, they get sick, but if they set seed, the seeds are fine. But for a lot of crops like taro and pineapple are good examples. They're not propagated by seeds, they're propagated by cuttings or keikis. So when a line, especially if it's a valuable line, gets infected, there's pretty much nothing you can do. But one of the things you can do is put the plant into tissue culture, and it's not trivial. You have to take a tiny bit of tissue, and Ryan did this with over 500 plants. And then what the results of his work was, he was able to get over 90% of these plants free of the virus. So it's kind of a way to cure viruses from these important plants. Anyway, I think he did a great job, and I appreciate his work, and I'm sure everybody at the USDA does. So I'm going to turn it over to Ryan. Good job again, Ryan.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
From taking away from this program, one of the main things is just basically being able to apply everything that all of the instructors have drilled with us as far as like writing or how to approach certain scenarios and everything like that. They provided us with like a great foundation on how to do science and how to work things through. And that in itself is something that I'll take along to move along with my PhD. I just recently got accepted to Manual for a tropical plant and soil science program. And utilizing all of the tools that I learned through the TCBES, it should make it an easier transition for me to be successful through the program. With that being said, I'd like to thank Dr. Mike Shintaku, Dr. Waya, Dr. Tracy Matsumoto at the USDA. Like what Mike was saying earlier, all of the support from the crew at the USDA, all the support and guidance from my family, friends, and loved ones. Without all of them and all their support, wouldn't be able to get through this. So thank you to everybody, and congratulations to everyone as well.
All right, thank you. Our next student is Melanie Layla Dudley. Her mentor was Dr. Noel Peralta and Haley Kailehu. And today her advisor, Lisa Canali, will introduce her.
Aloha. So Layla Dudley came to the TCBES program as a committed educator and as a passionate advocate for biocultural conservation. Layla's superpower is that she is an includer. She is able to bridge thoughts, people, and cultures. It has been a delight to witness her maturation into a professional. And her profession as an Aina Aloha educator. Please welcome Layla.
Mahalo nui for that beautiful introduction, Lisa. So I guess for me, what I'll be taking with me from the TCBES program, as well as the University of Hawaii at Hilo, and the experience with my internship, really is how to approach and work with communities. that it's first really important to build trust by spending time with people in that community, right? Building a relationship, working alongside them, and then asking them how we can help them, instead of coming into a community kind of with this vision of how we think that we can help that community. So I think that's one of the most important things that I'll be taking with me, as well as many other things. So mahalo nui to all of the professors at TCBES and at Hilo, as well as my mentors. And yeah, I think first and foremost, I'd like to thank, I'm gonna say my ohana, which includes not just the people that are here in this room and those watching, but also really on this place of Hawaii, this aina. I see ohana as not just the people in Hawaii in our communities, but all of my plant and animal friends, and the specific aina that really helped me in this experience are the aina of Pu'ua'awa'a, of Koholalele, and this aina here in Makahanaloa. But I'd also like to thank my mentors, Dr. Noel Peralto, Haley Kaliahu, the Hau'oli Mauloa Fellowship Program, for without them, I wouldn't even be here. My advisor, Lisa Canali, another mentor, Dr. Tiana Frank. I have my list, so I don't forget. My former bosses, Elliot Parsons and Edith Atkins, and really all of the friends in Ohana and TCBES classmates that supported us along this journey. It was a rough one, but we got it. Congratulations to all. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Our next student up is John Flint. His mentors were Kupuno Daniel and Keikoa Rosehill, who will introduce him.
Aloha, everybody. John Flint was a wonderful addition to our team during his internship with us this last summer. He was able to balance the crazy demands of an extremely busy operation with working on additional projects for the park. In addition to sharing our unique resources, we spend long days teaching visitors from across the world on vacation to be good stewards during their visit with us. John showed up every day early and every day with a smile. He provided the park with both a great program, Conservation and You, and a new updated volunteer handbook. His work, particularly on the handbook, will be felt by many years of new volunteers who will have a better experience at the park because of the work that he did. John is a model of dedication, dependability, and a positive attitude, traits that you can't just learn in the classroom. Without a doubt, they will take him far. I now present John Flint.
Thank you for that introduction. In regards to the question that we've been asked to answer, I plan to take my experience from Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, as well as my education from the TCBES program, to increase my ability to inspire interest in environmental protection in the future. I would like to thank all of the members of the TCBES department and the other members of the Hilo program for all of their assistance during these last 2 years, as well as everyone I worked with at Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. And finally, but not least, all my friends and family for all their support over the years. Mahalo.
All right. Our next student is Amanda Irish. Her mentors were Christian Meehan and Nicole Domano, and Dr. Becky Ostertag will introduce her.
Yes, Amanda was born and raised in Alaska, and she developed the love of the outdoors there. She got a degree in sustainable and ecological horticulture from Oregon State, and she's been in Hawaii for the last several years. Amanda's passion and love for plants comes through in all that she does, and I'm confident, I know that's why the plants grow for her. It's the care that she puts into them, and it's the tears that she cries over them. I'm gonna read a statement now from one of her mentors, Nicole Domano Martin. Amanda actually did 2 different internships. One she did with the Big Island Invasive Species Committee, where she worked on analyzing a data set about control efforts on a highly invasive plant and to look at the efficacy of control efforts to see if the population was decreasing. And then she did a second internship with a project that I'm involved in called Liko Napalina, which is a restoration project. And Nicole is been working with her day to day in the field. So what Nicole said is that it's been an absolute honor to work with and mentor Amanda Irish. From the first day Amanda stepped foot onto the rugged and challenging site, I knew she was the person for the job. Her positive attitude, enthusiasm, and inquisitive nature showed through on that first day and carried her through the rest of the internship and the Hilo Napolina project. Amanda embodies the perfect combination of persistence, resilience, and humility, and that will allow her to thrive in the field of conservation and restoration. Congratulations, Amanda, and best of luck with all your future endeavors. So now I want to bring you Amanda.
Thank you for the introduction, Becky, and thank you for Nicole. That means a lot. There's so much that I take away from this program and these experiences, but some of the things that one, the biggest thing is probably a newfound passion for the conservation of endangered and rare plants, plant species that really spoke to me in ways I didn't expect, but it's been an amazing journey and it's one that I look forward to continuing. I also really, got to develop as a professional, but also personally throughout the program, some of the things other people have mentioned, writing, communication, some of the experiences, the exposure to different fields within conservation. I take away a lot of really great memories and friendships, and I will miss the discussions that we would have in class, probably the most, but really a lot of great memories and friendships. And so I have to give some thank yous. Thank you first to Kristen at BISC. That was really an incredible experience. I learned a lot. So thank you, BISC, but specifically Kristen. Hilo Napolina, that was also continued that same journey and has also been really amazing. And so I have to do a special shout out to Nicole. The amount of work and effort she's put into me has been unbelievable, and it's really helped me grow in ways I didn't imagine. And Becky, thank you very much also to you. Amanda, Susan, and then also the rest of the Polina crew. Thank you guys so much. And I have to do a special shout out to Kara and Reggie, who have supported me throughout this process. And then my family, thank you. Both my mom and mother-in-law came to watch my youngest son. I started the program when he was 1. And so they came and stayed for months to watch him so that I could just focus on the program and not worry about where my baby was, what he was doing. And that really meant a lot. My brother-in-law also, and then my kids who didn't always understand what was going on, but really were just fantastic. And most of all, my husband, and I really would be remiss about Lisa, the internship coordinator. I have to say thank you for all of the effort you put into making this happen for me. I really appreciate your enthusiasm and your passion and for this, and you're amazing. Thank you. But wow. But finally, but not least, is my husband, who has been supportive throughout this whole process in so many ways and sacrificed as much, if not more, than I did. So thank you, Tobias. Thank you, friends and family. Thank you. That's it.
All right, thank you. Our next student is Kelsey Keister. Her mentor is Megan McGinnis, who will introduce her.
Aloha. It's an honor to be able to introduce Kelsey today. Kelsey began her journey in neuroscience, and through her work in cognitive development, she gained extensive experience in project management and collecting behavioral data. This background truly prepared her for her role with the Marine Mammal Center's Hawaiian monk seal conservation program. I was consistently impressed with her unique outlook and approach on modifying public perception on conservation, but just as much by her incredible initiative and her quick wit. She achieved far more during her program than I could possibly list here, like her outreach efforts and extensive field guide for our volunteers. But most notable to me was becoming a true member of our team, and of course, finding her first monk seal love, Kaulana. Our response program plays a vital role in the conservation of this species, and Kelsey's achievements during her internship had direct and lasting impacts on how effectively that program functions. On behalf of the entire team at Keikaiola, we feel so lucky to have you as a colleague and a friend. Congratulations. I present to you Kelsey Keister.
Thank you, Megan. That was such a nice introduction. In terms of the question, what will I take forward from this program? My answer is twofold. The first thing that I'm going to take from this program is some amazing new friends. I've really grown super close to my whole cohort here. And I think the most impactful thing is that we all share the same values, right? Nobody comes into this field, you know, to get rich or to get famous or anything. We do it because we care about the planet. And so finding people that I will be connected with for the rest of my life that have the same values as me is very important. And the second thing that I've taken away from this program is to not be afraid to use an interdisciplinary approach to conservation. As Megan said, I have not always been an environmentalist, so I'm super fortunate that I was able to take my previous interests of human behavior and community engagement and incorporate that into conservation. And I think going forward, that will actually be a huge strength, especially as we tackle some of the world's most daunting environmental challenges. So in terms of my mahalos, I have a lot of people to thank in getting me this far in my journey. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my family for always supporting me and encouraging me to pursue my passion. I would like to thank Lisa and Becky and the rest of the TCBES instructors, and Lisa for being my advisor. They've really helped me gain a lot of important skills that I think will be super helpful as I go forward. I would also like to give a huge mahalo to Megan and Heidi and the rest of the team at Kekeola for being so supportive in mentoring me and teaching me honestly more than I thought I could ever learn from an internship. And yeah, again, I just want to thank all of my cohort members as well for helping me on this journey.
Thank you. Our next student is Angeli Kirby. And to introduce her is Dr. Becky Ostertag, her advisor.
Angeli grew up in the small town in the Sierra Mountains of California. She started her undergrad at Cal State Monterey Bay, but then she transferred to UH Hilo and she finished as a double major in biology and marine science. Angeli was in one of my undergrad classes, and then she decided that she wanted to go on to take a graduate degree, and I was excited to be her advisor. She went through several different project ideas, and then finally one stuck. And that was looking at whether highly invasive plant species in Hawaii that are nitrogen fixers, so they're able to use sources of nitrogen that other plants do not have access to, whether those nitrogen fixers that are super invasive have a different mechanism of getting their nitrogen than species that are not so invasive. Ange is a true DIY or do-it-yourself kind of person. I'm not wearing it right now, but she made me a beautiful shirt, which just surprised me so much. And she recently made masks for everyone in our lab. And the other day, she even brought me a mask that matched the shirt she made for me. So now I can dress up in full gear and be completely matching. She's also a DIY person because she developed her own greenhouse at her house and ran her whole experiment there, and she built everything by herself. She's got really cool results from her thesis, and it's going to be an excellent study that moves forward. She's worked very closely with Dr. Jennifer Funk from Chapman University in California, and that's been a pleasure to have that collaboration. And even more has been the pleasure to see her develop her passion and get so into what she's doing. It's really made me see how much she's grown during this journey and how much she's learned. So I want to give you now Angeli.
Thank you, Becky, for that wonderful introduction. It really means a lot to me that you think that highly of me, and I'm proud of myself as well. And I thank you for the opportunity to engage in this graduate program. From this program, I will definitely take theoretical and practical knowledge and experience in conservation biology. I have grown to love and feel deeply connected to this island and all the life that's on it and around it and in it. And I think this is a great foundation for my future career in research and any kind of research I do in the future. The connections that I've made here, the confidence that I've grown here to speak out and ask for help or partner with people. And these are all really awesome things that I've learned in this program, and I'm very thankful to have been a part of it. I particularly want to thank Becky and Jen. You ladies have helped me so much, and I appreciate your patience and your intelligence, and you both have contributed unique, wonderful things to me and my education, and I'm thankful to know you both. I also want to thank my family and friends for all the emotional support and encouragement that I have received over the last few years. Well, over my whole life, but particularly the last few years. Thanks a lot. It's been great.
All right, thank you. Our next student is Christina Montoya Iona, and to introduce her is her advisor, Dr. Patrick Hart.
Hello, everybody. Christina Montoya Iona started working with fruit bats as a technician as her first job right out of college in the Mariana Islands. She came to Hawaii to work on our endangered Hawaiian hoary bat, the Opeapea, about 10 years ago. And her thesis research was titled The Roosting Ecology and Behavior of the Hawaiian Hoary Bat. And it represented a really nice and important collaboration between USGS and the University of Hawaii. Her research has generated a huge amount of interest across the state. And her thesis defense, which was the first one that I ever gave on Zoom, maxed out at 100 people within the first 5 minutes. And we were scrambling to get people accommodated for that. And I think it really just indicates how important her work is, and yeah, just how important her work is across the state for this endangered species. So studying the foraging ecology and behavior of such a rare and cryptic organism like the Opeapea required an incredible level of drive and dedication, and literally thousands of hours of data collection time in the field. So, you know, Christina is already a leader in the field of bat ecology and conservation in Hawaii, and I'm just super confident that she's got a very successful career ahead of her in this field. So congratulations, Christina.
Thank you, Pat. First, I want to thank my committee, Dr. Pat Hart, Dr. Adam Pack, and Marcos Gorison for their support and guidance throughout this process. It's been challenging at many times, but you know, they believed in me, and I really, really appreciate that support. What I'll take away from this program, I think TCBES was really good at giving us a toolbox of things to use in, you know, our careers in the field of conservation and environmental science. What it also did, I think, with that toolbox is teach us how to use it. And I'm going to take all those tools that TCBES gave me and just use them in my career. And I already have, you know, I feel like I've become a better writer, a better collaborator, just an all-around better scientist because of this program. And I'm really, really thankful for that, and for you know, all the advisors that have guided us along the way. I want to say thank you to my team that, you know, helped me collect all this data. It was not a one-person effort, and without a huge team of really dedicated people, I would not have been able to do this project. So there's way too many people to thank, but you know who you are, and I could not have done it without you. And then especially I want to thank my family, my mom and dad, my husband, my stepdaughter, everyone who was really patient with me through this whole process. Especially writing the last couple of months was I think a challenge for everybody. But you know, the support that I've had through this entire graduate process has, you know, helped me get to where I am now, and I just want to say thank you for everyone for sticking in there with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Our next student up is Jasmine Pinello, and I will be introducing her as she is my student. So I've known Jasmine for quite a while too. I think I also met her first in my global change class. But before joining TCBS, Jasmine earned a Bachelor's of Science in Marine Science. She minored in agriculture and geography and earned a MOP certificate. Along the way, Jasmine did several internships ranging from Staphylococcus aureus measurements at the beaches to a NOAA cruise. She also worked at an octopus farm. Jasmine has recently defended her master's thesis examining water quality fronting resorts in South Kohala. This was really a team effort, a collaborative project with the Nature Conservancy and NOAA. And it really took the whole team to be able to pull this off, from scuba surveys, water quality measurements, LEMU identification, all the above. Now, Jasmine is the kind of student who you can always count on to embrace mentoring students. She's mentored several high school students to undergraduates, and with for each of them, they were very meaningful experiences. So now I give you Jasmine.
Thank you for that introduction, Tracy. What I'll take away from the TCBS program is the value of collaboration, because it brings together many diverse perspectives, and you can complete projects in a more meaningful way. And also just a greater appreciation and connection to the community to research the Malka and Mackay interactions. And I would like to thank all of my family and my friends, especially my cheerleaders, Ron and Amon. And I'd also like to thank my advisor, Dr. Tracy Wagner, and my committee members for supporting me and guiding me throughout this project. And also the Hilo Analytical Lab for all that they've taught me, and also processing my samples. And everyone else who has supported me through the TCBS program, whether mentally or through all of the research that we've done together. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jasmine. So there are a few students who are unable to join us today, but we would like to acknowledge their major life event. So the first is Stephanie Gale. And her advisor was Dr. Bill Mounts. Stephanie examined the thermal dependence of the coqui frog on Hawaii Island. The next student, Emma Sinclair. She was on the internship track, and she is originally from Samoa, and she was looking at environmental issues across the Pacific. Maya Godani could also not join us today. She was on the professional internship track, and we want to recognize her mentors, Colleen Cole and Karen Schlappa, as also as her advisor, Lisa Canali. Maya focused on striving towards a career in watershed management and worked with several different groups across our island. And then last is Leigh Sherwood. She was on the thesis track, and her advisor was Dr. Michael Peterson. Leigh Sherwood studied applying object detection to monitor plastic pollution on Big Island beaches. And Leigh Sherwood also was integral in writing many, many stories about the TCBS program and getting that information out to our university community, and to the greater public. So thank you. We definitely will miss that. So I'd like to congratulate all of you. And if we were in person, we would have proudly hooded you at this moment. So as each of you would come across the stage, we would have put a hood on you as well as a lei. As an acknowledgement of your hard work and excellent scholarship, if you are wearing a cap or anything like that at this moment, what we would like you to do is to take your tassel and move it from right to left. Once you have done so, we will congratulate you. So congratulations, TCBS Spring 2020 students. The audience, you can now unmute yourself, cheer, clap, whatever you would like to do.
Christina.
Yay! You did it.
Devin.
Congratulations, Jasmine. Congratulations, everybody.
Congratulations to all.
Congratulations, everybody. Good job.
Love you, Devin.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Talavi.
Congratulations, Yasmin.
We love you, Kelsey. Great job.
Woo woo, Ange.
Good job, faculty. You're also very appreciated. Congratulations as well.
Yes.
Woo. Well, thank you all for joining us today, and congratulations on completing your Master's of Science degree, and we wish you all the best of luck. So please go out there and use all that you have learned and make a difference in the world.